Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This will be the coverage of the game of the Champions League week that we had against Borussia Dortmund in Dortmund. It was a very strange game, so to say, with a lot of insights that we got from the team, from the performance overall, and stuff are kind of like starting to get clearer now as we're proceeding along the season. So yeah, basically it was a draw. We couldn't finish our dinner again. We didn't finish our chances again. We had possession somehow, more like on the second half, and it still didn't work. We still couldn't be clinical. We had the chances, we played well, but Dortmund are not a good team. So us playing maybe a bit less than well, it's because of Dortmund's lack of quality. They had a lot of shots, they had a lot of opportunities, and they had a lot of openings as well, but they couldn't capitalize because they basically had a similar thing with just like we had in attack, where they couldn't finish their dinner. They couldn't find the right pass, they couldn't open us up. And I said this as well, like generally in YouTube, that if we played against a stronger team and we made those mistakes and lost those balls that we lost in the midfield against Dortmund, a stronger team would punish us and it would be a loss, I believe. So we lost a lot of possession in the midfield. I was against starting Pobega in the midfield. He lost he started strong, he has a lot of energy, he runs, and he had two openings, one in the beginning and one in the second half, but he was like 2-on-2 and he didn't make the right pass. He first shot, he didn't make a pass at all at the first instant, and then at the second instant in the second half, his pass was very bad, very inaccurate. And yeah, with Pobega, he's an average player. He's a player of the lesser teams in Serie A. I see him playing in a team like Torino, or like those kind of mid-table teams like Bologna or something. He's not an AC Milan level player. He should be like the 5th or 6th choice in the midfield, ideally for us. He shouldn't be starting games. I was against starting him. And the bad thing here is that because Pobega started, we had to drop Reindeers from the 8th to 6th, and then we lost the creativity in the attack. So Pobega was partnering with Leao because of his positioning there. So we had to take away the creativity that Reindeers provides, because we needed to play Reindeers in the 6th, so because he's good with the ball, so we can play Pobega in the 8th. And it wasn't a coincidence that in the second half we started creating a lot more chances. After Adli came in the game, Reindeers got to his best position in the 8th and Adli was playing in the 6th. We started Reindeers and Leao started partnering more, and we started opening up Dortmund more. We created the best chances there, and that was basically it. So even though I still have a kind of a belief that if we would start Yasin Adli from the beginning, it wasn't the reason why we drew the game, it wasn't because we started Pobega, because we had the chances to win the game. So if we would have still not capitalized and not scored in those chances, even starting Adli wouldn't make a difference, to be honest, because the problem was on scoring goals. So even though we had a lot of lost possession in the midfield, fortunately, but Dortmund didn't have enough quality to score or to do damage. So that was why it didn't impact us negatively starting Pobega. But football, you have to learn your lessons in football, even if you don't get punished. It's just a warning sign. It's just a sign that you don't need to. You were lucky this time. The other team didn't have the quality to do what they should have done, and you need to learn for the next time. So I mean, Calabria, Pobega, these players losing a lot of possession. I feel very insecure with Calabria in the defense. Whenever Milan was running at him, I was like, oh my god, he's going to skin him. Calabria is trash defensively. So but generally good defensive performance. Tomori had a bit of like a couple of shaky moments in the game, where I remember he lost a possession once in the first half, and they had a clear opening, but they couldn't score, Dortmund. And in the second half, his legs got messy, and he made a mistake, lost the ball. He had like a couple of shaky moments, but generally Malik Thiaw and Fikayo Tomori, very good performances, and I'm really optimistic because they're improving overall as a duo, as a defensive duo partnership. So we shouldn't be losing the ball that simply in the midfield. That's some key thing that I got from this game, and that we need to be very careful and patient with our final decision in the attack. Very, very careful and patient, especially when it comes to patience. You have to really relax and do the right thing. As a professional footballer, you know when is the time to shoot, when is the time to pass. That's why you're a professional footballer, so you don't have to react based on emotion, based on expectation. You shouldn't see your name on the newspapers. You should be in the moment and know what to do in the moment. That's the key thing. So also Rafael Leao was losing the ball a lot, even though he was one of our best players. The thing is with Rafael Leao, he's a volume player, that he tries tricks and dribbles a lot of times, and when you try, you will lose possession. And by the way, with Pobega, I remember that he had a 48% pass accuracy. As a midfielder, that's shit. That's terrible. That's really terrible. I mean, that shouldn't happen as a midfielder, and that Pioli should learn from that. Should see that stat and not start him again. I don't know, man. With Reindeers, because I was going to say that when Leao lost the ball, it was an instance in the first half. The Reindeers they were like countering, and they were almost like opening us up completely, and Reindeers had to take a yellow card for that. And the look on his face to Leao was like, bro, this is not like a show like FIFA Street where you show your skills and something. Like, you lose the ball and you can lose a game. You cannot keeping the ball is very important, and being very also playing having in mind that you have to play a bit of percentage game. You can lose a ball, it's normal in football, but not always and a lot of times, because especially when there are players and when the positioning of the opponent players is shaped to capitalize from your loss of possession, so you have to be very present with that. And yeah, when he covered Leo's ball loss and he looked at him, he was like, yeah. and yeah, he has the right to do that. Musa, I like his performance in general. He's reminding me a lot of Frank Kessie, very much. And he's a perfect replacement to Loftus-Cheek. He's almost as good as Loftus-Cheek, and you don't see a lot of difference when he covers Loftus-Cheek, when Loftus-Cheek doesn't play. So that's a very positive thing for us. Two quality players fighting for a position, very good squad depth in that area. And so I loved his performance. He was tired during the end of the game, so he had a bit of some shaky moments where his legs were tired and he almost lost the ball in defense, just like Tomori did. But Dortmund are that trash. We didn't concede or anything, so that was not on us. And they couldn't score. But we still made a mistake, so we have to learn from that. And yeah, generally Musa, decent performance. I liked his energy in the midfield and physicality also that he brings. Giroud, I'm not going to be harsh on Giroud, because Giroud has performed well, especially in the previous season and in the 3 opening games of this season. He has played good, but he has to score that chance. I know he's old and stuff, he doesn't have the legs, so I understand that part, that he cannot run and he cannot link the game the same way, because he shouldn't be starting, in my opinion. We should start Okafor now and have Giroud as a super sub. So that's what we should do, but he has to score that chance in the first half. It's like 2 yards from the goal. Yeah, the instinct and the reaction there should be more, should be better. And yeah, I didn't like Calabria's position at all at the end of the game, but anyway, I hope he starts Florenzi and really consider getting signing a player in January in that position, because that's a very weak link in our team. Yeah, in the end, a very good performance. So not very good performance, but like a very good signs that we see from the team, that we have that thing that we are building experience, and we can score. We can create chances to score, but we have to train. We have to focus to train how to score and how to make the right decisions at the right time, and how to really be more efficient in scoring goals. So that's a big area that we need to improve. But overall, not a bad result when you see it, but we had to win. We could win. We needed to have 6 points from Newcastle and Dortmund. We got 2. So now we have PSG back to back, and that's a difficult task, to be honest. But I still believe we can beat PSG, because PSG, I think, are overrated. PSG are not. They have the name on the paper, but I don't think that they are a big threat. So I think with our game, if we set up to defend and counter, then just like we usually did with Napoli, for example, we can beat them because we have that counter-attacking threat. But otherwise, we shouldn't open against them, because that's where they will beat us, because Luis Enrique plays open football, and it would be a party for them if we open up. So I believe this is very common sense. So I expect us to come with a strategy that we let them have the ball basically, but also not being like super Jose Mourinho defense like, but you know what I mean, a balance of defense and attack. I wanted to talk a bit about Maignan and Malik Thiaw. With Malik Thiaw, we need to take care of that guy. We need to nourish him, we need to be patient with him, and we need to allow the time to become the best version of himself, the world-class player that he can be. So that's a very important thing with Malik Thiaw. He's a very high potential player. So yeah, we shouldn't be very hard on him because he's young. Of course, he's playing for AC Milan, but he is not performing bad. He's not performing trash. The player that we should be harsh on is our captain. So Malik Thiaw, big up. Yeah, huge shout out to him. And I was thinking about something that, imagine against when I think of AC Milan in the last 2 Champions League seasons, we actually haven't beaten a big European giant besides like an Italian team out of Italy. We lost to Chelsea in the group stage last season. We beat Tottenham. Tottenham are not a big elite European giant. Then we played against Italian teams. Napoli we beat, Inter we lost. Same with this season. This season we drew the first 2 games, even though we didn't play against European giants. But PSG is where we need to break that that thing that we haven't beaten in the last 2 Champions League campaigns, any big European teams. I truly believe that we can win 2 games. We can really win 2 games. I'm really confident about San Siro, but I also think we can win in Paris. So yeah, the last game that we won, that was our opening season in the Champions League. After a lot of years, it was against Atletico Madrid, where Kessie crossed that ball and Messi scored with a header. We won 1-0. Besides that, we didn't really have any good results against big teams. Chelsea, they were not that good with Graham Potter, and we still lost both games. Okay, in San Siro we got a very early red card, so that it was like game over by then, but still, yeah. So we have to show ourselves in Europe. We really need to like step up. Because it can be like an uncomfortable conversation for some people, for some Milan fans as well, but these are the facts of the matter. So we have to really ground and know where we are, and aim to be better and to break that thing that we haven't yet won a game against a big European giant. But in general, again, just to summarize, against Dortmund, it would have been a good result in isolation if we would have got the 3 points against Newcastle, which we should have. But now it turns out to be not a very good result, because now it gets really hard for us. Pioli also said it. I can't believe how we didn't score, so I believe that he knows what they should work on. That final pass, Pulisic needed to pass that, Chukwueze needed to score that, Giroud needed to score that. Yeah, in general, this is my review about the game. Let's hope we kick on, and I highly believe that with a bit of exercising and with a bit of more maturity in front of goal and in a decision making, I think we can get the results. We can go far, and we can compete in a Serie A at the same time as we're doing well in the Champions League. And I highly believe we can do that because we have the squad depth. We have Benacer coming back. We have the January transfer window as well. So there is a squad. Let's stay optimistic, and we will continue reviewing this channel and all the games throughout this season. Thank you for watching, and I will see you the next time.